This is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Yeah.
Jake Tyler.
Jake and Tyler.
Okay,
Yeah, so
special.
no, there's a couple things.
Okay,
All right. Don't do it yet.
I'm not.
Yes, Tyler, we got things to talk about. We're talking about Peacemaker tonight. We're talking about Boba Fett. We're talking about a bunch of things. Bunch of serious...
Bunch of stuff with a bunch of funny
But
talk.
real quick announcement. If everything works out
Ooh.
the way we want to, this will be the last audio-only episode.
So no.
So yeah, no. But we got...
Welcome to the
world. We got the studio set up and how we like it, and we think it'll look really cool.
So,
and we're really excited about it.
It's really great looking. Cooper has just been licking my hand for like a good long while, and it's oddly comforting. Like it's very relaxing.
Yeah, he does this as soon as we
I
start.
know it's gross because he uses that same tongue to lick his balls, but
He doesn't have balls.
oh yeah, that's right.
You son of a bitch. Why do you gotta bring that up? He's very sensitive about that.
So
Anyway, we're going to start the show with two things. One, it is something that I told you I had 2 new drops for
yes.
you. I apologize.
Welcome to Off Panel Off Topic, by the way.
I apologize.
Yes.
That the audio quality isn't the best, but this is all I could get is someone just recording it off their TV.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get
It's all good.
Like legit sound recording. But
It's all good, man.
This whole segment is from 2011, and this is before the Colts drafted Andrew Luck, and Peyton Manning was going to Denver at this point.
Yes.
And here's Michael Irvin. He's talking about it, and he's saying, he used an analogy. He's saying, this is the problem with kids today. Like the women not learning from mom, not learning how to cook. And then he follows it up with the single best line in sports broadcasting.
We're losing recipes.
Losing recipes.
I'll turn it up a little bit in case you didn't hear it.
We're losing recipes.
Wait, hold on.
We're losing recipes.
Losing recipes.
We're losing recipes.
We're losing recipes.
And he ends the segment,
Mm.
which God bless him, dude. Michael Irvin is
He's
so
great.
entertaining. He's amazing.
Been through hell and back.
When him and Shannon Sharp are on Undisputed, it is some of the most entertaining shit.
I'll bet.
Because I love Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so good.
He's fucking really good.
But here's the ending to that segment.
That's it. I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
I want to end every argument I have with my family by saying this.
That's it. I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
Hey.
Because how do you defend anything against that? You're just like, hey, this man just said it.
That's it. I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
The way that he ends it with, hey, that's the reality.
If you don't like it, you can just take your shit and go home.
So anyway, now we move on to the other part of the... This is the most off topic of the opening segments.
Yeah.
But, Tyler, you brought some treats.
I was at the Walmart last night, and I was getting some groceries.
The Walmart.
The Walmart. I call things like the Uber.
Like the Facebook.
I got to download the Uber again.
I've been tweeting on the Twitter.
I've been all over that Twitter thing.
Big fan of it.
Big fan.
Big old fan.
You know what? The interweb. Okay, so I was at Walmart, and they had these 4 things, and they're called Cakebites, and they had 4 of them. And by the way, representation, fucking piss poor. Okay, all white dudes. Whatever. Let me step off my SJW soapbox. Anyway, it was Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. And there are these things called Cakebites. And now somebody that I know did open them, but I didn't look at them. So I've never seen what they look like.
So
but
you've
I was
never
told,
had this before?
No, this is
Oh,
a
okay.
new experience. That's why I
me
thought it'd
neither.
be fun.
Yeah, on air.
But from what I've been told, they're like small bites of cake. Literally, they're called cake bites,
Yeah.
and they're all colored differently in terms of like the character and stuff.
Okay.
Like the Thor is kind of more blonde and
so we have
yellow
a Captain
cake.
America and
Yeah.
a Spider-Man. So I'm imagining these both are going to be like red and blue. Maybe yours has a little bit of white.
I
you know,
bet
red,
you-
white,
yeah.
and blue.
And it's funny because on the box it's like patriotic sprinkles, and on the Iron Man one it's like what is it? Tachyon sprinkles or something. It's like shut the fuck up. You're making kids dumb.
Jesus. I
Well, they
wouldn't go that far.
They actually think those things are patriotic, and then they
Alright.
grow up to be Republicans. Fucking morons. Alright.
Yeah, because you would think that Captain America is conservative, in their minds. Anyway,
Yeah.
Marvel Cakesters or Cake Bites. I have a
Cakesters. That's a better name for it.
Well, I think that's owned by Oreo.
I don't give a shit.
So mine is a Spider-Man.
And
yours
mine is a Captain America.
Yeah, let's
So we're gonna open these. Ooh.
these, man.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Oh yeah,
These are
they're-
cute little bites.
Oh, little cake bites.
Little cake bites.
Little
Okay.
squares.
So mine is as you can see, it's
Oh yeah, yours
red,
is,
white, and blue.
and mine is just red and blue. But we got little sprinkles
I have
on them.
I have like white frosting with
Dogs trying to eat them. They're
red-
chocolate. You can't
yeah.
have them.
And then you have chocolate frosting with what kind of color sprinkles?
Red, white, and blue.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's each take a bite.
What is
Holy fuck, those are tasty.
This is his dumbest segment.
We might have to pause while we finish these. Oh yeah. Oh, ASMR.
Yeah, here we go.
This is our ASMR segment.
This is our cake bite. ASMR.
There you go.
Somebody has crashed their car in rage. Like they've turned this shit off.
They are really cool though. It's
Oh man, they're so moist.
it's really cool how like they got them to look like little tiny cake bites. That's cool. Man, I know our
A lot of sugar though. Holy
Look,
shit.
oh, it's all sugar. I know our civilization is on the brink of collapse because of stupid shit like this. But goddamn, I'm gonna enjoy this shit while it fucking collapses around me.
Oh yeah. We're gonna take a
are we-
break. We gotta. All right, so we swapped. Now I'm eating the Captain America, and he's eating.
And it's just cool, like how defined the colors are and shit.
Stop it. You know
Okay.
what I'm thinking of this whole time? That's what we sound like. When I say, hey.
This isn't a glee club.
Fuck you, Sebastian.
Fuck you, Sebastian.
Man, shit. All right, here. I'm
Oh, that was
gonna
good.
put this up on the shelf so the dog doesn't get to it. Do you want me to do that for yours too?
Well, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah.
Let's take a time out again. Wow.
So, you know, we
I
were,
need a cigarette, dude. Holy
no,
shit.
No shit, right? You just like had an orgasm in your mouth, dude.
A+.
Just really, really good and moist. Like, you know,
I came in with very low expectations,
Mm.
and then it extremely exceeded it.
see, here's the thing. I saw the box and you hadn't. I just brought two of there are individually wrapped packages of like 3. Okay. So Cooper likes to get my attention by like yanking on my. That's why.
Okay.
I don't think Jake caught me calling him a cock.
Jeez.
Like it wasn't like mean. It was just like
Yo.
he kept yanking it, and I was like, okay. And then he stopped the recording. I was like, you cocksucker.
$1 million, bitch.
That's how much you just cost us. Coop.
Oh fucking shit. Anyway, so those
I'll
cakes.
eat your ass.
I had seen the boxes, and again, they came in like packages, little individually wrapped packages of like 3 cake bites, and it's a lot of waste for a product, to be honest. A lot of plastic and non-biodegradable waste, which is why, like I said, our civilization is collapsing around us.
Well, it's like
because of stupid
it's-
shit like this, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
yeah, it's
man.
like
Fuck
it's
it.
like, why do you give me this big bag and only it's half chips because of how it's manufactured?
I'm gonna be at like
make smaller bags,
yeah, right, or just
or add more chips. Make a decision. Honestly, make smaller bags. We don't need more chips. Just make smaller bags.
yeah, or make everything out
lying.
of hemp. I'm like,
Because those cake bites were delicious, but it was
Yeah.
deceptive on size. They're much smaller than you'd think.
mm.
Because I thought it was 2. I thought it was just too big, like those Hostess cupcakes.
I was kind of hoping it'd be 4, 3. What is that?
but
What? I'm all
but like
about
I was-
prime numbers.
But like I was saying, I thought it was gonna be gross, honestly,
Mm.
because you know how it's really hit or miss with the license, like
yeah,
candy or
dude.
sweets. Like it's always hit or miss.
Yeah.
So I came in with low expectations. I was blown away. It had a surprising good amount of moisture to it.
I want to say it was Little Debbie, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that was better than Little.
But see,
Little Debbie.
okay. So anyway, so I saw the box, and they had pictures of each one, and I bought one of each package, and I just happened to I love Captain America, and I didn't really care for, I don't know, Iron Man and Thor just didn't really jump out to me, so that's why I brought Spider-Man for Jake. But I had seen on the box,
And
I
here I was
didn't
thinking
know
it's because I love Spider-Man.
I didn't know that they looked. Well, you do. I didn't know that they looked like that, like though in real life, because that's what they look like on the box. And you open it and you look at them, and you're like, holy fuck, that's what they look like.
yeah.
Like that's pretty cool. Because a lot of packaging and marketing is deceptive as fuck. You know, like this summer when you hear the new album from the amazing T-Bird is like nothing you've ever heard. It's the best thing in the world. Deception. You see how that's deceptive?
Deception.
And that's going to be one of the songs. Deception.
Deception.
Here's a preview of why it won't be in top 10 lists at the end of the year. Deception. In my car.
in Conception.
Driving. Conceiving.
Believing.
Believing.
Achieving. Oh, this is why I love this show, and this is why I love you, Tyler. Because
Ain't no grieving.
I do like the more like conversational opening segments, and I didn't really have anything planned for this week, and you really knocked it out of the park with the cake bites, man. Delicious stuff.
Also,
I was honestly worried. I was thinking when I was going to eat them, I was thinking,
We're losing recipes. That's it. I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
so I did play you a very very rudimentary early version of some harmonizing that I want to do on my new album, and since we got Michael Irvin to tell it like it is, what'd you think? I hope that your answer is wow. That was brave of you.
I'm going to give you my answer, but only in sound bites.
Godspeed, Spider.
What does that even mean?
Bad mother crusher.
Okay.
Yes!
All right. Cool.
Beta!
Whoa.
This isn't a glee club.
Oh.
I'll eat your ass.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, good night. Good night.
Figure that out.
We'll see you next week, everybody.
That's cryptic. No,
How many people like? Oh shit.
it's still early on, but I like what you're I like where you're going with it, and I like the concept, but it's still pretty early. You haven't really.
I don't.
You're still in the
practice
I think you're still in like the
Very
concept
concept. Yes.
phase of it, but I like where you're going with it because you've explained how you want to do it. I'm interested in it because it's something different than what you usually do.
Yeah. I'm pushing boundaries. Like I said, this is gonna be my mellow gold.
The dog was like, "What the fuck?"
The dog's like,
I suppose.
I let out some mellow gold on the snow this morning.
We're going to be talking about Peacemaker now. Episode 5. Now, as with every episode, heavy spoilers, so...
Pizza time.
All right? One more time. Remember,
That's what I said before.
we're in
dinner
spoiler
last night.
territory.
Pizza time.
All right, free spoilers.
I said that before dinner last night in that voice, and everybody around was like,
Look,
don't do that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm conflicted.
Pizza time.
Because I love this show.
Okay.
I said last
Oh,
week...
Peacemaker. I thought you were talking about I think you're talking about thinking about canceling our show. Damn, I was.
And that's it.
Go home.
Yeah, get
We're
the
done.
fuck out, dude. Don't ever lose my address.
You know what I expect in the mail?
$1 million, bitch.
Nobody listens to this show anymore.
It'll be about 10 years.
It's just all sound bites. Anyway, but here's why I'm conflicted. Because I said this show is made for me, and this is a show that I've always wanted from DC.
Yeah.
That's all true.
Mm.
But my favorite animal is the gorilla. And they brutally murder a gorilla in this episode.
Like, pretty hardcore.
No, it doesn't mean I don't love it. But I think it's actually, you know what? I think it's smart narratively.
Well,
Because I think James Gunn is an animal lover. He's very open about it.
Oh, yeah. Some
So
people,
I think when
yeah.
he uses the burning of the birds in Suicide Squad and then this chainsaw murder of a gorilla, I think because it's animals, it adds an extra element of emotional impact because you're like, oh shit, like that gorilla was terrifying.
Well, then it spoke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's even crazier is that we learned that that the butterflies can control other things other than humans, and they can make them talk, at least animals, which is interesting. So I don't know.
Some writers wouldn't go
I
down
thought it
the
was
road
good. Did you think it was going to be Gorilla Grodd?
No, I knew it wasn't
Oh.
because like I said, I'm dumb and I go on social media a lot. And I was scrolling something.
Somebody like confirmed that it
not,
wasn't.
Not really. It was something I scrolled past and I just kind of glanced at it, and it was something about the gorilla in the new episode of the Peacemaker is not the one you think, or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, there's gonna be a gorilla, and it's probably not Gorilla Grodd, because that's who most people would think of in the DC universe.
Yeah.
I would think, most people, most writers wouldn't take the chance of like, I'm going to use a brutal murder of a extraterrestrial ape by chainsaw to bring two conflicted characters together.
Yeah.
But James Gunn is just brave like that. But it
well,
brought Economos and Peacemaker together.
Well, I want to say
Bonded
that
the team a little bit.
I gotta love how well written Economos is and how well performed he is by Aggie. I think it is Steve Aggie.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, he gives this great performance where I'm very sympathetic towards Economos because he's just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
And Peacemaker's just being a fucking bully to
And
him.
he's shown that
asshole.
he's an asset.
Yeah.
He takes out fucking Judo Master, which is insane because you
I
wouldn't.
mean, he hit him with a car. I mean,
Dude, right? No, I'm saying like how's he gonna do it? Because he's this big lumbering ox of a guy, and Judo Master literally is just this tiny little praying mantis of a dude. Did you hear that actor wants to play a version of the ancient one in Doctor Strange?
Huh.
And he said that he was like, I think it would be interesting to show that that the character that they can inhabit other vessels, like a younger.
Well, did you see that? The guy that plays Myrn in this, he's in Guardians 3.
There's a big rumor that he is going to be. Hey, why don't you throw on that pizza time?
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Just cause, even though you shouldn't be listening if you're not,
Pizza time.
Yeah, just for an extra one. He's rumored to be the High Evolutionary, who is rumored to be like the creator of Rocket Raccoon and stuff. But I am applauding if that's the case, because I really like. He's got a way. Before you knew he was a butterfly, maybe you ought to throw that on one more time.
Oh my god.
Pizza time.
I just like it. Before you found out he was a butterfly,
You already had said that he was a butterfly before I said.
I just wanted you to play the.
Anyway.
But before you find out he's a butterfly, I think he was a really interesting character in the way the guy acted, the way the guy played him. What is his name?
I don't know his name.
It's something I can't pronounce.
Just move
by
on.
remembering it. Yeah.
Just move on.
But
I don't remember
he is.
it.
I really liked how he played the character, and so I'm excited to see what kind of role that kind of. He does have gravitas.
Well,
and that's something you would need for a character like the High Evolutionary.
It's
So
also interesting that you find like the show makes much more sense, like why he can't express himself. When Economos asked him, has he ever said how do you feel? It's because he's been controlled by a fucking butterfly. This whole time. Like, look at that right in there.
which is interesting because I really liked that scene, and I totally forgot until now that happened before we learned he was a butterfly.
So it makes more sense. But my I love this episode because it continues to move at a great pace.
Yeah.
I think the show's story, while I would love to binge it, and I probably, I love this show so much that I will probably binge it once it's all out.
Yeah.
Because he's created such a great world. I just want more content in that James Gunn patch of the DC universe. You know.
Yeah.
But because apparently he wants to make another spin-off show for a different Suicide Squad character, which again is showing that what we were talking about.
Does he say who?
No, he hasn't said yet.
Okay, so
my guess is they haven't confirmed that they're going to do it or not.
I know, but real quick, who would you want? Imagine. Okay, now here's the rules.
In a perfect world, it would be Bloodsport because Idris Elba's fucking great.
But I mean, Peacemaker. Yeah.
What?
I'm just saying, like,
just like
I
Peacemaker?
no, I'm not saying that. I think Bloodsport is the absolute last
Well,
one.
who would you do then? Harley? Because that's the only other one that's alive. Because it was Harley, Bloodsport, Nanawe, and Ratcatcher 2.
I was going to say Nanawe, and I was going to say that the rules are that you don't have to have. It doesn't have to be anybody who died, or it can be anybody that was in the movie.
Oh, like a prequel?
Sure.
No.
Well, fuck you, man.
I don't want to. No, honestly,
way to ruin a fun little segment. Where
I don't want to.
We were gonna have a thought experiment on who would be fun to see.
Well,
You come up with Bloodsport.
It's clearly fucking Harley Quinn.
Oh, boo!
Come
She's already got a
on.
cartoon.
I know.
Fuck off.
And you can't afford Margot Robbie. That's the problem.
Fucking nobody can. Just kidding.
Also,
She's awesome.
they've said that they are more than willing to do a season 2.
So
they want to do a season 2. So
yeah, that'd be fun.
But let's actually talk about the fucking episode.
Well, I just want to say one thing.
Oh God, what?
Margot Robbie's a great actress, right? She's Australian, right? So she's got a natural Australian accent, right? And in Wolf of Wall Street, she had to play a woman who was originally from Long Island, who was trying to hide it behind a Manhattan accent. But when she got mad, her Long Island accent would have to come out. What kind of fucking shit are the fucking actors of today smoking?
Oh, Jesus.
Because that's a lot of work. It pays off.
What?
That's all I gotta say to that. So let's actually talk about the fucking episode. So this whole episode moves at a pretty quick pace. So they're going to this supply center, which is like the thing that's like the big distributor of this weird nectar thing that the butterflies eat.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny how this show works because there's action set pieces and there's also comedy set pieces in a way, you know.
And sometimes the two overlap. Jesus Christ.
Most of the time they overlap.
Sorry, the dog is going nuts.
But
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
so the first comedy set piece is the PowerPoint presentation of what them getting ready for the mission and going to this distribution place.
The butt is an orifice.
Yeah, because they're saying this is how the butterflies control the humans.
Oh God!
There's one that's like the mouth and their like nose or something, and then one going in the ass, and they're like, "Why is it going in his ass?" It's orifice.
You suck at PowerPoint.
Yeah, so then it culminates with Peacemaker being like, "You suck at PowerPoint."
What is the thing that explodes on the screen at the end?
Well, before that, they were talking about the monkey. They're like, "Why is he walking around with his pet monkey?" I thought they were gonna go.
I thought they wanted.
I thought they were gonna go on an adventure. And then they have that whole fight about him sucking and then being like, I'm sorry I put your dad in jail, and he's like, you could have been anybody. Like, who? And then he's like, Ariana Grande, Drake, Doug the Pug,
I don't know any of those people.
Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, and then at one point, Amy Winehouse, she's fucking dead. Now, apparently, I don't know if this is true. I think some of it was on the page, but most of that whole sequence was improvised between Aggie and Cena, which, if is true, that's so funny. Because, again, Cena is showing, all those years of doing live improv with wrestling promos.
Mm-hmm.
It shines through in this, where he can improvise, because he improvised the fucking duck scene where the duck in the human suit. He improvised all the part where it's like when he's explaining the logistics of it. That was all Cena.
Yeah,
just improvising. So again, we're seeing it here, and then the post-credit scene is just an extended thing of this, which is funny. And
you're funny.
It's like the fact that James Gunn tweeted out BT, because he says BTS, which is the K-pop group.
Yeah.
And Ariana Grande and Drake, and he shows pictures of all those, and he just says canon #Peacemaker, and that's just made me laugh. So yeah, that was the first comedy set piece, and then that goes into our first action set piece is when they go there. But on the way there, we talk about Peacemaker just jamming out, and Hardcore's like, I'm not listening to your fucking shitty music. And then he's going through a list of groups, and he says Hanoi Rocks. And that's when Economos and Peacemaker start to bond a little bit, because he shows that he has a tattoo that says the 11th Street Kids, which is important. It's important to know, because that's a very big plot point in this episode. It is in a cute way, and I like it.
By the way, Vince Neil of Motley Crue, when he got into that big accident where he caused brain damage to another person, the person who was in the car with him was Razzle Dingley, the drummer for Hanoi Rocks, who died.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Apparently James Gunn really loves Hanoi Rocks, but
a lot of people do. I don't get it. I never really got into the glam bands like a lot of my friends did. I was like,
what's so funny?
I was more into Metallica and stuff.
I've had this conversation with another friend of mine about because this show has made me talk about this, because there's a ton of glam rock in this.
I appreciate
hair
it
metal
now.
and shit.
I can appreciate it a lot more than I did.
But here's what's the fun thing is, he kind of had a similar perspective, because there's a bit of an age gap between us, and he's only like 9 years older than me, but so he has a little bit different perspective on music than I do, and he was growing up in that tail end of that era of hair metal and glam rock and all that shit. So he always hated it. Yeah. Not necessarily hated it, but like he just it wasn't his thing, that wasn't just something he was interested in. Now me, I enjoy it.
Gotta be in the mood.
I enjoy it years and years later, because I was listening to it in the car with my parents, because they would listen to the 80s station and the classic rock station. So I'd hear it all the time. And so that's kind of how I fell in love with it. But I fell in love with it post when it was popular. So I have the perspective of, I like it in a sense of, I know that it's ridiculous and stupid and over the top, and that's just, I love stuff like that.
Well, Faster Pussycat and Hanoi Rocks were not radio bands. I mean, I never heard
the Choir Boys are featured heavily in the show, and I think I've heard of them, but I've heard of most of the bands in it. But there are the band that does the open sequence, Wigwam. Yeah,
that movie. That song is from 2019, I think.
No, so it is before that, but it's recent.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing he's doing glam rock, but not necessarily from one era, which is interesting, because you kind of appreciate how much these newer bands love that stuff, because they really do sound like that.
Well, you know what and
that takes a lot of work.
What I hate is, I really dig the cover of Pumped Up Kicks, the glam metal cover of it. I kind of really dig it.
It's about murder, Evan.
But that's funny to talk about that because I never listened to Hanoi Rocks, and I would say I listened to a lot of different like deep cut bands, and I know that we kind of turn this into a musical conversation, but that's kind of what this show is. I mean, music is a huge element to any of James Gunn's storytelling.
Yeah.
And this show continues that because we're having these conversations. Like, I never heard of the Choir Boys. I never heard of Tiger Tails. But I don't think, like, have you ever heard of Helix?
Yeah, I had heard of
Rhino
Helix.
Bucket?
Maybe.
That one's pretty deep cut. They sound a lot like AC/DC. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, there's some bands that I still know that are deep cuts that I haven't heard in the show.
Can we? I think we skipped over kind of towards the beginning of the show when he's talking to Detective Song, and I don't want us to forget.
Oh yeah.
When her awesome comeback to him calling her Lucy Liu, is that she starts calling. She's like, "What? Because I'm Asian." Okay, what are some of the names? No, what are some of the dumbass white guy? But she just lists
ran out of white dudes.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. It's fucking great.
That's also a good point. Is you bring up that story because this show has somehow successfully managed to weave 3 storylines at once.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's the Mern Butterfly story.
Yep.
There's the team story.
Yep.
But then there's the investigation story with the detectives.
Uh-huh.
And somehow he manages to weave all 3 of them perfectly. Because I totally forgot about that, but that's crucial to the story of the fact that she knows that it was Christopher Smith and not Augie that killed the first butterfly.
But Mern's boss is now the sheriff?
Yeah. Because Waller pulled some strings to get him in there. His name is Caspar Locke.
Yeah.
I don't know what his significance. There's a mention of a hammer. I don't know his significance in the DC universe.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I think that might be an implication that he's going to show up more in the DC universe of being like,
what even is that, dude?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a great question. I'm sure it'll make more sense after The Flash. But
here's the thing, and
mostly I'm just sitting here saying.
But hang on. Here's the thing. DC actually has an interesting advantage over over Marvel right now.
Yeah.
There is no DCEU.
Yeah, there's no strict rules of the MCU.
But here's the thing. If they came out, okay, they come out with the Batman this year with Robert Pattinson, right?
Which is its own thing.
Sure. Say next year they come out with a Batman movie with somebody else playing Batman. Would it piss you off?
Yeah. No, because
if they were good enough, would you go see it?
I
Probably.
Well, and that's the thing. I think after years of Marvel training fans or casual people that only don't read the comics, only watch the movies, they've been great at training them about really weird comic book ideas, but with a more mainstream flavor to it. Because we're now in the multiverse phase.
Right.
So where you and I were as comic book readers of like understanding that different time, different franchises could be just different interpretations of the character because we've seen that throughout the history of comics all the time. So like Raimi's Spider-Man is different than Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man,
but
Keaton Batman's different than Christopher Nolan Batman.
Right. But here's the thing. The point I'm making is that now in the MCU has done a really good job of like Captain America is Chris Evans, right?
Yeah.
And so on and so forth, and Chris Evans, right? But I honestly, as a DC fan, if they came out with a good Superman movie every couple years with a completely different Superman, I don't really care that much.
I mean, they're doing it right now with I haven't watched it, but I've heard Superman and Lois is great, and
I don't watch the Arrowverse shit.
I feel like it's enough further removed that it's its own thing.
It is, and I would love to watch more of it because I love
It's on
watching comic
HBO
book
Max.
shit in general. But there's like 8 shows to watch now, and like 17 seasons each now.
I can't watch it.
It's far too late for me to
I gotta make
jump
room
in.
for The Wire.
Yeah, it's far too. Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, that's kind of cool for DC. That's kind of a cool thing.
But what I was getting at
they
is
don't have to sign actors to multi-film contracts.
What I'm getting
all.
What I'm getting at is audiences will accept the idea that this Batman is different than this Batman,
right?
And they'll accept the idea that okay, so this is its own thing. And you and I have talked about this. DC should just keep doing that because they, in my mind, they've been better at doing the when it comes to What If versus Elseworlds. I think Elseworlds is better than What If.
Absolutely.
And I think DC has always been better at making those like weird non-canon stories. And as a comic book company, I think they've done more multiverse shit than fucking Marvel has.
They've had to.
With Infinite Crisis,
For the
Crisis on Infinite
bullshit
Earths,
that
Infinite
they built
Crisis,
up over the first 50 years. And here's the best thing. And
Rebirth,
there's
the New 52 Rebirth,
oh,
all
yeah.
that shit.
Dude, there's a reason why DC has it all over Marvel in that respect. Is Marvel had 2 different series, like decades apart, called What If. And often it would be a one-issue story, okay? Elseworlds...
They were graphic novels.
Yeah, and some of them were like 3-part like graphic novels.
Yeah.
So we're talking a lot more time to flesh out the story.
Tyler, we talked about it last week. We talked about it before. They're doing that again with the fucking Earth 1 stuff.
Right.
The Earth 1 is just modern retelling of the characters.
Exactly. You couldn't do Earth 1 Green Lantern in a what-if book. You just couldn't.
Yeah, because DC...
You could, but you'd take a hell of a lot out of it.
And that's the difference, is DC has always been the one that are like, hey, let's make a graphic
Let's
novel.
explore.
Let's really develop that idea and do that. And that's what I think that it's funny, because it feels like Peacemaker is what is starting to, like, it's in a weird way, I feel like the Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker are James Gunn and DC kind of rebooting their universe, but at the same time staying in universe, if that makes any sense at all. What I'm trying to say is, I think that it acknowledges elements from the DCEU, but it also establishes newer continuity, if that, you know what I mean?
I think exactly what you're talking about is how DC should keep going, which is, you know what, if you want to connect some stuff, fucking go right ahead, but you don't have to connect everything. Like, I consider Peacemaker and Suicide Squad and stuff, I consider them connected to the DCEU in a larger whole, simply because the previous Suicide Squad was considered part of that, Henry Cavill as Superman and whatnot. And they're trying, I don't know why the Flashpoint, by the way, you've taken too long. I do not give a fuck about your fucking stupid fucking Flashpoint
you know
movie
what's silly
anymore.
about this?
I don't fucking care.
You know what's silly about this?
What?
Is COVID had messed with production like it had most movies, right?
It was in production for like 4 years before COVID, dude.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It had an opportunity to beat Marvel to the multiverse idea, because they'd already beaten them to a female-led movie.
Yep.
They could have beaten them to an African-American-led movie, but they fucked up the Cyborg movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Panther happened, and they fucked that up. So, like, there's been multiple opportunities where they could have beaten Marvel.
I'll go see Flashpoint. I know it's going to be,
but
something,
yeah, that could have been the first one, and that could.
But I am not waiting on pins and needles for it like anything else. I mean, I'm seriously super excited for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Flashpoint, that'll be something I probably catch on TV.
So I wanna wrap up talking about the episode, and then I wanna kind of do a broader idea, because I like that this is kind of spinning into
let's
the conversation.
Finish the episode
about the
and then talk, because I do want to get into that a little bit.
The whole episode. I mean, the main point of the episode is the fight in the warehouse, and. So we know that now we know that the detectives know that Christopher did it, that they did fuck up the fingerprints, and we're gonna let Augie go, but Locke steps in and says, "No, don't worry about it. You're a great detective."
I like how you did that. Locke steps in. Lockstep.
And
did you like how Adebayo kept shooting the people after? Like she was trying to get it out of her system, because she still hasn't killed anybody.
Comes in with his new helmet. We don't know what it is. And then he comes in and he goes, activate X-ray vision.
By the way, the effects of that whole, anytime they used it, especially when she was using it at the end, were really great. Really top notch.
But yeah, so then he can say, okay, I know that they're all butterflies because I can see them. So, because she goes, I was waiting. He fucking blows this dude's head off. She goes, I was looking for a signal.
No, wasn't it an old lady or some shit?
She was like, I was waiting for the signal. And he goes, I figured blowing their head off was the signal. How do you know? I got X-ray vision. And she's like, oh. And then you see just to add more gore to it, there's the fucking butterfly there. And he just...
Yeah, that was That was great because it was an old lady's blown off head,
And then it just
and then it was blown off a little more, and it was just like, that's James Gunn.
yeah.
I like it.
So that's happening.
It's just
Vigilante
fun
and
gore.
Hardcore are on the other side, and they're dealing with a bunch of them, and they
Yeah.
get into a fight. And they run and lock themselves into a room, and they need the other team with Peacemaker and how do you say it?
Adebayo.
Adebayo
Mm.
to save them. And as that's happening, there's like a big horde of these workers that are the butterflies. And John Cena takes a head of a missile.
Yeah.
And it has a grenade strapped to it. And she goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "It's a grenade strapped to your warhead." And she's like, "What? Wouldn't you just need a grenade?" And he goes, "What? Grenade kills like 2 people, 3 people tops. This is a whole fucking warhead. This will work." And she's like, "Does it work?" "I don't know. I just made it this morning." Pulls the pin, throws it,
Excuse me.
fucking blows up the whole
Fucking
thing.
dude. Yeah.
So then they go in and find them being attacked by a gorilla that we mentioned earlier, that not only had the increased abilities that the butterfly gives, but it could actually talk because it said, "Die, humans," when it was fighting them.
And then shortly
See,
after
that's
that,
why I thought, like, I was like, are they really going to just throw in Gorilla Grodd here just to punk him out? But the fact that they killed him right away, I was like, okay, so it's not Grodd, because Grodd would have his whole thing.
oh yeah, he would not be dispatched by a dude in a chainsaw.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
Sex.
Well, why haven't we seen a team up between Nanawe and Killer Croc? King Shark, Killer Croc team up? I'd be into that. Not a
'Cause,
movie, like a comic book.
Because
like a
the Killer
miniseries.
Croc stuff was all... You know what's really stupid? All the Killer Croc stuff in the first movie was all makeup. Like, none of that was CGI. And everybody complained about how bad his CGI was. So to me, Killer Croc is a stupid character. At least the way they had him. So, maybe.
So, baby.
If you do something different with Killer Croc, make him like a vigilante type idiot
It's
type.
a Aquaman Batman team up where they fight Killer Croc and Nanawe.
And at the end of it, Aquaman fucks some fish.
Come to think of it, there's a lot of animal villains in the DCU because I mentioned Gorilla Grodd too. So
There's actually a hero called Animal Man.
I was gonna write an Elseworlds book called Kneel Before Grodd, and it was gonna be the idea that he fights Superman, but like he gets the power. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. The point is, we find out that yes, the butterflies can manipulate animals, or
What about a Chihuahua? I don't think there's enough room. Yeah, but that would be cool.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. But then they go home. That's when Peacemaker has another moment of bonding with Economos, because he goes, "Fuck yeah, dude, you did it!" And then the whole time he's like, "You killed a gorilla with a fucking chainsaw, man!" And the whole thing is Vigilante wanted to kill someone with a chainsaw, and
Yeah.
he didn't get to. And then he goes, "I thought it would have been cool if he said, 'Hey, Vigilante, here you go,' and I
Passed off the chainsaw to me, and then I killed the gorilla.
And John
with the
Cena
chainsaw.
just looks at him in disgust, and he's like,
Thimble.
"Fucking thimble," because
Yeah.
we find out that he had a habit of
He was a late
nicknaming
bloomer.
people based on their penises, like calling his brother
He's a-
Prince
he's a
Charming.
late bloomer.
Why? Because his dick looked like a scepter. And then on the way back, they're singing the Hanoi Rock song together, and they're having a great time, and it's them finally having the cohesion of a team.
Yeah,
you know?
the team finally bonds. Obviously, Myrn is not there.
Yeah.
It's everybody but Myrn. But
And-
it's cool because it seems like everybody. Look, they're all kind of misfits in a way,
Yeah.
and they're all kind of stuck together, and they're kind of, I think, starting to understand. I don't know why I'm talking about them like they're real people. They're starting to kind of understand that the people that they're with are all they've got right now.
Yeah.
And whether they like it or not, they're doing something important. And the best way that they're going to accomplish this is to be a team and to have each other's backs and to have, respect and
Yeah.
to learn to care about that person sitting next to you. And that's really fucking crazy how well somebody, when you have James Gunn who can do the gore and the action and all that, and then also somehow make it human, like he made Nanawe human, which is just fucking insane. So hats off as usual.
Hand.
We're still waiting for our parts in Peacemaker.
Season 2.
Or hey, we'll take a bit part in Guardians of the Galaxy holiday
Also, the
special.
streak continues. I did not skip the intro in this episode.
Me neither.
I don't think anybody did. Congrats. Did I explain why he did that, right? That he did it because he wanted something entertaining and people to talk about, and they'd also see the hard work, the names of all the people that worked hard on the show, and I was like, no, that's cool. So then the big end of the episode. This is how hooked I am on this fucking show and how much of a fan, like I'm a fangirl about it.
Wow. You're a fanboy.
I mean that colloquially. Yes, fanboy,
just
fangirl,
saying,
whatever
like,
you
I
want to
mean,
say.
why
I like
are-
to say fangirl because it sounds
You know,
funny.
why can't we de-age you? Why do we have to de-age you and then like reverse sex you too?
Dude,
Like,
fine.
it's not cool.
Jeez. Fanboy.
Jesus.
Ah. Anyway,
I'm very cis. What does
Jesus.
that mean anyway?
I don't know.
It's something.
I don't know anymore.
Cisgender. I don't know.
Can I just be a generic white dude? That's
No,
what I am.
you have to be binary or gender fluid. I don't know what
You're
that
gonna get canceled, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Anyway.
No, listen. What we're saying is that we're ignorant.
I lost my damn thought. You sidetracked me, man. You son of a bitch. Anyway, Peacemaker, I love it.
Did I really?
Yeah,
Why can't we listen back to the show?
because the moment's gone. Wrapping up some thoughts on the show.
You were doing fanboy. Something fanboy. Fangirl.
I've given up.
Come on.
The scene, I know what I was talking about. So your little come on really jarred my memory. Come on. It was at the end of the episode where I saw the moment happen and I audibly went, "Oh no,
Yeah.
oh no."
Oh yeah, when she puts
Because
on
when
the
she sees the helmet, that it was the X-ray helmet, I was like, she's gonna find out that Myrn is a butterfly, and sure enough, she puts it on, activate X-ray vision, boom, sees it.
Well, no, because it's a while. She's looking at some other stuff. She doesn't even look towards him for a while.
Yeah, they
And
really
when
leave it hanging.
when she finds the helmet,
She's like, "Hey, you
she
need
puts
to see
it on.
this."
She puts it on, and she finally does turn, and as she's talking to him, so she gets his attention right away. I thought that maybe she'd be far enough away that she'd be like looking around and then be like, "Oh shit," and then be able to hide.
Yeah.
But of course, thanks a lot for the fucking cliffhanger. Dicks.
Yeah.
I'll bet you anything that Myrn turns out to be a good guy butterfly.
See, some people are like, is he the villain that's like trying to genocide them, or is he on the side that's like, we shouldn't be here and he's trying to stop them? I don't know. We'll find out more.
I'm thinking it's going to be the latter.
I think he's the villain.
Really?
I think he's going to be the genocidal type. Or maybe, no, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just assuming.
Didn't he, when he was talking to Locke earlier and he talked about how he'd changed?
Yeah, and earlier he said, I don't want to kill any innocent people that don't deserve it, so. Maybe he is the good guy that's trying to stop the invasion. I don't know. You know what? You're wrong. I shouldn't have assumed that just because he is a butterfly, he's a bad guy. I'm prejudiced against the butterflies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, typical.
A few bad apples. Jesus. All right. Well, anyway, another great episode of
Good
Peacemaker.
times,
Can't
good
wait to
times.
see it. But we kind of got into a conversation about the DC EU as a whole, and I want to get back to that conversation.
Me too.
So, what I was talking about with Flash and Flashpoint and all that stuff, I think again with James Gunn trying to do another series because he had mentioned that he's working on another TV series
Yeah.
with DC. Now he's talking about this Suicide Squad. I'm assuming it's the same thing. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I can't think this guy could do 3 shows at the same time while doing a movie. Like that just seems like too much for one guy to do. So I'm wondering if he's like gonna I feel like those two are the same. But I was wondering about this Snyderverse and how DC is trying to say that main continuity is gonna just kind of eliminate that, even though Gal Gadot is still going to be Wonder
Right.
Woman, and Jason
Yeah.
Momoa is like they just finished filming Aquaman 2,
Yeah.
Black Adam and Shazam 2 is coming out. Like,
Yeah, and by
so
the
they're
way,
still
again,
using
you know
some
what?
of that
You know
stuff.
what? I don't care about Black Adam either.
What?
That fucking movie's been in production for like 10 years.
Yeah, but I'm excited because they're going to introduce the Justice Society and Dr. Fate is in it.
I do like that.
And-
As long as it's comic accurate helmet. If they try some fucking
Dude,
bullshit.
and it's fucking Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate.
yeah,
Come
but
on.
I'm
now.
saying though, if they try some bullshit, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I know. Oh no,
Yeah, I know.
We're too far along where they can't get away with not making comic accurate costumes.
I actually read this article the other day where they showed a picture of the Riddler from the Batman, right?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Who is that?" If you take the question mark away, that's just a dude.
Yeah.
Why are fucking comic book movies so afraid to show comic book costumes?
No, I just think that this is just. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
You don't, huh?
Look at all of the Marvel movies.
Hey!
Look at Wonder Woman. Look at say what you want, but Affleck's Affleck's fucking Batsuit is the best Batsuit.
Oh yeah.
It's Keaton and Affleck. Those are the two best costumes, I think, in my mind. Nothing against Bales, but it's just nothing against Bale.
Nothing against Bale. Christian Bale's gonna be God killer in the movie called Thor.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Ha!
But DC as a whole. But what I'm trying to get at is, why couldn't Zack Snyder continue his Snyderverse on HBO Max
or wherever?
But what I mean is, you could even make it a series. You could just make it a 4-hour cut like Justice League and chop it up, because that's what they were going to do in the first place. And they were going to release it as 4 1-hour episodes, but then they said no, it's just one long movie, and it's in chapters. So it's like all of this is designed to watch it at your own pace. So why not let him keep telling his story, but on HBO Max? You don't have to release it to a theater, and I mean, I don't know how those deals would work, but
I don't know if he could get all the actors that he wanted for like the TV show, but
he clearly makes it work because he worked with Netflix and he built that weird fucking army of whatever universe. It was Army of the Dead, an Army of Thieves, an Army of whatever the fuck, that weird universe that he's building at Netflix. So like, he's willing to work with these streaming services, so I don't see why you couldn't do that. And you know what? I guarantee you he could get those actors to come back because they loved working with him. Because all I've heard about Zack Snyder is he's amazing to work with.
He's a peach.
And you know what? Yeah, let him fucking tell a story. Because like we were talking about earlier, you and I, and now the mainstream audience with this multiverse ideas being shown in Marvel movies, we can accept that there's different interpretations. So, like, this is Zack Snyder's Justice League, Zack Snyder's DC. Like, that's fine. Let that we do it in comics all the fucking time. All the time. So I think it'll be just fine, and I think they should consider doing something with Zack Snyder.
So this kind of goes along with it, but not really.
What a turnaround, too, because I get the criticisms of the Snyderverse.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
But I read this article the other day, and so they're still trying to figure out who the next Bond is, right?
Yeah.
Now, there were reports that it was that girl who was in the last two.
And Idris Elba's
been fucking...
They've been talking about that for decades,
yeah,
feels
exactly, yeah. And this guy wrote an article, and it was actually very well reasoned. Okay. And it said, if you make Bond anything other than a white cis heterosexual, then it's just generic spy movies. Because the whole character of Bond is that he likes fucking ladies or something. You know what I'm saying? And it actually was well reasoned. I wasn't reading it and going like, "Wow, what a racist piece of shit." I was like,
because there is a racist argument for that. And
of course,
I have seen the racist argument,
and I deny it every time. But I kind of read it and I was like, that's an interesting point. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's an interesting point.
Yeah.
That a lot of different characters, because I've never had a problem with any fictional characters being something different.
Especially
I really
they're fictional.
Yeah. I really just don't. I'm trying to think of a fictional character that would piss me off.
I would like to, and I
can't. I don't.
I honestly don't know, and I really don't know what DC is gonna do.
You want to know the very basest argument for me not caring if any of my favorite male characters were gender swapped? Those boobs to look at. I told you it was base. But no, I'm saying, like, I mean,
Yeah.
that right there, like,
What's wrong with looking at sexy ladies?
to be honest,
That's what you want.
To be honest, I don't like it when they gender swap the other way. Because there's no boobs.
And that makes you a feminist. What do we want to talk about? Wrap up the show, buddy.
Oh, fucking.
You want to talk about Boba Fett? Or, sorry, the Mandalorian? Boba Fett. The Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong. I got some criticisms here.
I will say, seeing the Night of 1,000 Tears was fucking dope.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was fucking crazy.
I'm not gonna deny that it wasn't a fun episode. I'm not gonna deny that it wasn't a good episode. It was.
I knew.
But
yeah.
I'm pissed because I'm not really pissed, but I'm like, well, why? We took an episode out of the Boba Fett show to explain what the Mandalorian's been up to. When we have a Mandalorian season 3 coming up, you
Right.
could have just showed it in that fucking show.
And why? Let me just say this.
That's my only complaint.
Bryce Dallas Howard directed it, right?
Yes.
And everybody is clamoring for her
They
to
want
do
her
a
to
whole
do- yeah.
Hey, fan idiots. Do you know how many people are involved in that particular episode? She didn't completely come up with the entire concept of the episode herself and then draw all the storyboards herself. She might have drawn some. And then run all the cameras herself and then run all the lighting and all that other and act. Well, I just don't understand this whole like, well, that person, okay.
It's Favreau is the lifeblood behind it.
I'm not saying that she's not capable.
What
I'm
point are
saying
you trying to make?
my point is, give me a better something else, something that she created like on her own, like as a director of a series.
I don't know. Would you be
she did a great job.
Would you be saying this if this was anybody other than fucking Bryce Dallas Howard?
I'd be saying if
I feel like you would. I feel like she gets too much hate.
no, I have no problem with her. I like her a lot. She's a great director. She's done a lot of really cool shit. But I'd like to see something that she kind of came up with on her own. I don't care if she does a whole trilogy. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why, after one episode of a series, when she's directed a lot of other shit, why are you now saying, oh, she needs... Why? I'm just saying the director is not the be-all and end-all. I don't think James Gunn has a huge stamp on Peacemaker, sure. But I don't think he has... But he's also the executive producer and creator. So that's different than Jon Favreau, creator... Robert Rodriguez, a producer, and then for one episode, Bryce Dallas Howard, director. Give me all three of those, sure. But I'm just saying, like, you got to give me more than that, than to be like, well, they deserve an entire franchise. Well, okay, sure, but why? What exactly about that episode was so great? I didn't think it was that great. I just didn't. It was a Mandalorian episode. Big deal. I mean, it was good.
That's what I mean. It's not a bad episode. It's just
not
just
fucking
shouldn't
spectacular.
be-
It didn't blow my fucking
It
mind.
shouldn't be in the Boba Fett show.
Did you fart?
No.
Okay.
And I get it that it's part of the plan, I guess, because Favreau. I think Favreau has written every episode of Boba Fett, but I
don't want to make it seem like I'm against Bryce. I'm not. I think she's great, and I do want to see her direct more shit because, being able to do both sides of the camera, I think.
Are you trying to say that you want to see her do something outside of the Favreau stuff?
Yeah, I mean, before you start clamoring to give her a trilogy, let her pitch something to the Star Wars people for a trilogy.
Also, not everybody needs a trilogy.
Right.
Why not we just tell us?
She could do a Rogue One style or Solo style.
That's what I mean. Or, yeah, I don't know.
I think people clamoring for her to get her trilogy don't understand how movies work and shut up.
Those are
and TV shows and Hollywood and shut up.
Remember when we had a Rian Johnson trilogy that was supposed to happen?
Yeah. And by the way, you know what? You know why The Last Jedi sucks ass? Because Rian Johnson came in. Yeah, it sucks.
I love The Last Jedi.
Yeah, the whole trilogy sucks. Here's why.
Oh my god.
J.J. Abrams came in and he's like, how do we make sure that all the idiots come back for this thing? Well, let's make it exactly like the first one. Okay, great. And then they already had the plan for Rian Johnson to come in because they wanted to, have new and fresh creators. And Rian Johnson came in and said, guess what? I'm going to take everything from that first movie and I'm going to totally negate it. And here's some flying horse things and whatever. And here's also a really funny but not funny joke at the beginning of the... Just fuck off, man. Fuck off. And then you know what? After that, everybody's pissed because we got Rian Johnson to basically negate everything in the first movie. So let's make a third movie that negates everything in the second, that negated everything in the first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
fuck off,
I
J.J.
wholeheartedly
Abrams.
disagree with that.
Okay.
I liked The Last Jedi.
That's fine.
I thought it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed all three movies because
liked
they were
it.
Star Wars movies.
I liked it because of that.
But I'm angry that you didn't do more with it.
I liked it because it subverted your expectations and it did things differently and maybe not what everybody wanted from a Star Wars movie. I personally enjoyed it.
I'm
Now,
appreciative
if
of the
Disney had
chances
the
he took.
balls
Yes.
to fucking further his ideas, it'd be a different story. But because they didn't, you know what kills me about Star Wars as a whole is they never listen to the right fucking fans.
Yeah.
And I know I know how that sounds.
No, they're right.
Listen,
You're right.
I know how that sounds. But what I'm talking about are these same fucking losers that do it every franchise. And I have to do this every couple episodes because they still exist and they
Yeah.
still very fucking loud.
And somebody's giving them money.
It's the same shit. It's the same fucking shit. They don't want their art to change. They don't want anything to change. And you know what? They probably do like these properties, but they're grifting, lying fucking assholes.
Yep.
And you know what? Disney listened to those people. Disney listened to all those fucking incels instead of listening to real fans. And by doing that, they completely tore down.
Let's take Rose Tico completely
yes.
out of the third movie
And
because the fucking fuck you guys,
destroyed
dude.
an up and coming Asian American actor.
Oh my God, yeah.
Career because of fucking chuds.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, nobody liked The Last Jedi. Got to do a whole third movie apologizing for it.
Basically.
And I'm not saying that all people that don't like Last Jedi are fucking incel chuds. I'm not saying they are. I'm not.
No.
But I'm saying a loud portion of them on the internet fucking ruined Star Wars. They're the fandom menace for a reason, and they continue to ruin this fucking thing. I don't get excited as much as I should for Star Wars shit because of the toxicity in its fan base. And that's sad.
I would have done
And I don't know
Last
how
Jedi
this is related to how it's related
completely differently.
How it's related to what you were saying. This is what this episode feels like in Boba Fett. It is, regardless of how good it is a fine episode, and it would have been great to see it in Mandalorian Season 3. I'm upset because we have to completely stop the story of Boba Fett dead after a cliffhanger. Which, you know what? The end of Chapter 4 was awesome because he said, I need more help, and then you hear the... You're like, oh, that's the Mandalorian theme. He'll show up in this movie. Wait, we got to wait a whole episode to explain how he got there. When we had a Season 3 for that show coming. And I just feel like, and I know Favreau wrote it, but it's like, it also just felt like a diversion to, again, make us be okay with the prequels. Like, it's like it seemed like a Filoni thing to be like, look, Anakin's pod racer.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep. Yep. You grew up with that shit, you fucking fanboy.
And that's what's so frustrating because it is a well-made episode. It is an entertaining episode. It's a great episode that would have fit well in The Mandalorian. And I know it comes off bitchy, but it's just, why does Star Wars feel the need to, and I'm not saying that Favreau is appeasing chuds here, but
No.
I'm saying there's a track record of Disney Star Wars where they have to like do things to appease instead of just tell me a story.
And here, exactly. And here's the thing: is like, I appreciate Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Rodriguez and Bryce Dallas Howard. I think is part of that kind of collective of filmmakers who is kind of bringing these shows to life. And I appreciate that because you can tell they love Star Wars. There is a deep love in what they're doing and how it's written and how it's acted and how it's directed, all that shit. And I appreciate them for that. And that is what I wish they had gone in. That is the mindset that I wish they had gone into that sequel trilogy with. They went into the fucking sequel trilogy with one thing, fucking dollar signs. And a fucking signed contract from Harrison Ford that basically said, fine, but only if you fucking finally kill me. And they were like, we got it. We got a movie. No, you fucking don't. You could have done so much kick ass with those characters. You fucking ruined Han. You fucking ruined Luke. And you did a pretty good job setting off Carrie Fisher. But fuck you. Just fuck you.
Yeah. I think that's the main reason why I'm upset. I just feel like narratively they hit the brakes when they were finally building to something.
Yes.
Because it was such a slow burn in the first. And I did,
maybe Cad Bane's going to come into the next episode. A live action.
And I didn't mind.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The slow burn.
Yeah.
But it finally started to hit like a peak, and then we just stopped dead in our tracks to only tie it in by him finally showing up, or Fennec.
Yeah, not even her. Not even
up.
him. Her. Yeah. Dude, I am way more upset about the sequel trilogy than I've let on.
Yeah, you completely just
I'm
derailed
so
this whole conversation.
angry at the fucking opportunity and resources that this fucking bespectacled fuck had in his fucking hands.
Dude, chill out.
I fucking hate
Chill
J.J. Abrams
out.
for what he did, dude.
Chill.
I fucking hate him.
Calm down.
Ugh.
Let's end the episode, all right?
Oh, are we?
Deep breath.
I need a cake bite.
You know what? That's right. Go grab our cake.
Oh,
bites.
hang on a second.
Hold on a second. We're going to end this show on a high note. All right. Actually, you know what? You know what we forgot?
What?
Do you have something you want to share with us? Do you have something for Tyler's Long Box? What?
I don't know. I'm seeing you over here just eat this little cake bite out of your little dish. Do you have anything? I feel like we're two old ladies doing a book club.
Thank you for being a friend. Oh, I just made myself sad.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have something for Tyler's long box.
Jeez. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
You have something for Tyler's
as I said before,
I'm gonna eat my cake bite while you do.
Yeah, it's totally cool. As I said before, or stated earlier, this
Oh my god! Oh god!
couple episodes ago, long box is whatever I like. And Betty White recently passed away, and it is obviously a tragedy and a terrific loss to not just comedy but America. I mean, just and humanity. Really, she was a great person. Now she was really into pets and stuff and animals, right? Big advocate for animals. And I don't know if you knew this, but she had a show in the 60s called Betty White's Pet Set. And it is literally her talking with her celebrity friends about their pets, and they bring their pets on air. They bring their pets on the set.
And people donated a lot of money for A-Lines.
Yes, that was a great thing too. But if you have Crackle, it is on there under comedy TV shows. And it's called Betty White's Pet Set. Now, understand, I want you to understand this going in. This is not scripted, her being funny type stuff. This is her just being a normal person talking to another celebrity who's also acting like a normal person, and there's some sort of animal on the set with them that they're petting while they're talking. So it's not, don't expect to get on there and be like, dude, this is the fucking funniest thing I ever fucking saw. Because it's not that funny, actually. It's charming because it's fucking Betty White. But it's also like the first episode is Lauren Green. Well, one thing Mrs. Green likes is that I take the dog out for the poop, and here he comes. And he's look at this dog. Well, one thing I like about your dog, Lauren, is that he's such a big old poop. Yeah, I know. I did. That's... What was I doing there?
I don't know. That's why I was like, what?
I was trying to be Betty White.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
You know what you don't know, America? How fucking awesome cake bats are.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
That's what I say to my bowels.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Good luck. What about
I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
What about Jake Unlimited?
Yeah, I got nothing for you.
You fucking bitch. I fucking come up with something on the fly. You can't come up with shit.
Anyway,
That was so aggressive.
fucking do your job, goddammit!
Fucking bitch.
The fuck?
I'm so glad we were recording. That's so funny. You fucking bitch.
No, this is funny.
I'm crying.
I was yesterday. I was out and about. I got a I got a haircut. Got a new external hard drive for the video stuff we're going to be doing and more stuff that I'm going to be doing. And I went out and I said, you know what? I got some spare time. And I was actually going out to I was trying to find some Spider-Man, the old Activision Spider-Man games. Like I was looking for Shattered Dimensions, Edge of Time, those games. But I couldn't find them. But then I remembered I had been playing a little bit of Batman Arkham Knight. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get me one of them old Dare games and play it. So I got Batman Arkham Origins, the underrated Arkham game, I think. It's actually really cool. I think it's probably my favorite story of the Arkham series because we get to see, like, you get to experience Joker's origin through his eyes in a sequence. And what are you laughing about over there?
Keep going. Let's finish out the show.
Jesus. It's like I'm trying to tell a story to my therapist, and he's giggling over there. You're fucked up, man.
I keep thinking about what I said and how awful it was. So funny. Okay, keep going.
So self-absorbed. Anyway, but you get to see things like that, and you get to, like, the boss fights are awesome, and it's kind of disappointing because Arkham Knight doesn't really have boss fights. But as I'm playing it, I'm like, shit, I'm going to just play through these fucking games again. So I'm going to finish Arkham Origins and then play Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham City, and then wrap it up with Arkham Knight. But
is there one called Arkham?
Arkham. Barker.
Barker.
Well, the Arkham Asylum one makes sense because that's a place, and that's where the game takes place. You're stuck in Arkham Asylum. But, like,
I know, it's just joking.
Arkham City is silly to me. I always thought that was a silly name because it's like, well, we're just going to section off this portion of Gotham and just fill it with criminals, and that's just like an Alcatraz kind of thing.
I don't know if you know this, but the city planner of Gotham City is that's not a thing.
He's not good at his job.
He's not good at it.
But long story short, I've been playing through that and enjoying it, and it is underappreciated, especially because there's and the whole plot is awesome, and it's very linear in design because it is Christmas Eve, and there are 8 assassins that have accepted a bounty for $50 million from Black Mask to kill the Batman. So you're fighting these different assassins, and there's a sequence where you break into Penguin's office because you're trying to find Black Mask, and he's got information. And then as you're fighting him, you see a grapple hook, and it pulls Batman off, and then you fall down in this, like, Fight Club arena, and it's fucking Deathstroke. And you have to hand-to-hand combat with Deathstroke, and it's fucking awesome because you have to, like, perfectly time your counters, otherwise he'll fuck you up. And, like, it's a pretty hard, like, it took me at least 2 or 3 tries, and it was funny because I knew when I died, it was one of those things where I frustrated the game. I was frustrated because I knew it. I was like, because if you don't time it perfectly, if you rush it, he'll beat the shit out of you. Like, he'll hit you and fuck up your health and everything. So
it's like when it's like when the ball leaves your hand and you know it's not going in the basket.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like he's gonna kick me in the face. Yeah, it is, and it's fun because it gives that, it's like a throwback to how boss fights used to be in older games. It seems like boss fights seem a lot easier nowadays, so it was fun to do that. And it's bringing back memories because the first time I never owned that game. I only borrowed it, and I honestly, it was back when I lived in Lincoln with I was hanging out with Luke, and I stayed over at his house, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, because I didn't work that day or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking play this all in one day, see if or like 2 days, see if I can do it. And I told you the story off air. I fell asleep playing this game, crisscross applesauce, and with my head not laying on the back of the chair. It was straight up, and it looked like I was meditating.
Yeah.
Luke comes in, and the game's not even paused. And Luke comes in because Batman's just like, I should do this thing in the game. Stop fucking just standing here. And
He's posing.
You know, he's like doing that thing in games, when they do the poses and shit.
Yeah.
And Luke goes, Jake. I go, oh, shit. And then I get up and I start playing it.
Just like Mallrats.
And so it just brings back those memories. And Batman Arkham games have a special place in my heart. So
Special place.
sorry I went a little long there. This
It's all
episode's
right.
been a little
At
long.
the very end of your whole thing, I just want to snorted some shit and
Oh, I got a big hole in my crotch. In my sweats.
Let's
wrap it up.
I guess we're not ready for radio. I mean,
Are you ready for TV?
we're not quite ready for. Jesus Christ.
This dog cannot make up his mind. Thanks so much for listening to episode 32 of Off Panel Off Topic.
Yeah.
Talk. Yeah. Doon, 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 doon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will buy you a
We'll buy you a
podcast.
podcast.
I like how you're just a second behind me.
I can't hear
You're trying to
anything.
figure out what I'm saying. Because you don't have your headphones.
Because fucking
I'm
Cooper.
right next to you.
I know, but I can't. There's still a delay. The dog is causing a 3-second delay. His presence merely sitting between us.
You know what, man?
We're losing recipes.
That never is organically ever going to come up in conversation, but I need it on the board, all right?
That's it. I had to say that. Hey, that's the reality.
And that's it.